everyone. Welcome to Wednesday's edition of Take 5, having taken Monday and Tuesday off. Didn't mean to, although I could apply it to what we're doing, saying we fasted from Take 5 for Monday and Tuesday, because we sort of did, and our theme for the week is fasting. And actually it was because we were snowed in and I couldn't get to Kathy, who has the camera and all that stuff. So I hope you didn't miss us too badly. Or maybe absence has made the heart grow fonder and you long for Take 5 that much more. Either way, it's Wednesday. We're in the week of fasting because we're in the middle of talking about spiritual formation and the various rhythms or disciplines that go into it. And this week, the rhythm that we said we would talk about is the rhythm of fasting. And part of the reason we say that, today is, if you're watching this the day I record it, today is Wednesday, but today is Ash Wednesday. And there's a few things that can be said about Ash Wednesday. One is we really have no idea when it was started. Some say 8th century, some say 1,000 years ago, so 11th century. No one's really sure. A couple of things we are sure, that the ashes that people put on their forehead, first of all, the reformers, and I'm more of the Reformed tradition theologically, the reformers denounced it, do away with it, which is probably if you go to a Reformed church or a Presbyterian perhaps, or maybe even Baptist, or just generally evangelical, they may not do it because they're following the line of the reformers who, in some ways, I don't know exactly why, I never read why they denounced it, but they sort of did. But early on, they were in the habit of denouncing anything that the Roman Catholics did, so this probably just fell in line with that. So that's the one thing we know a little bit about Ash Wednesday. The reformers didn't like it. And the other thing we know is that the ashes were both a reflection of grieving. Like in the Old Testament, when someone would have sackcloth and ashes, they would be grieving. And so the idea is grieving over one's own sin, and grieving, perhaps even looking forward to the death of Christ and grieving because of that. So there is that sense of grief with ashes, but there's also a sense of humanity. From ashes you came, and ashes you will return, is the Book of Common Prayer. What we often say at a funeral, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Ashes remind us of our humanity and therefore of our frailty, and even of our mortality. Ashes. We are mere mortals, and therefore we need what Ash Wednesday is looking toward 40-some days from now, which is the death of Christ and the resurrection of Christ. All of that. Ash Wednesday is today. It's a church tradition in the general Christendom, and it's just it's a sign of grief, of repentance, of humanity. And it does begin Lent. Lent is the 40 days, comes from the Old English word lengthen because it's sort of the beginning of spring. But it really is looking toward the 40 days, heading toward Christ and his death on the cross on Friday and his resurrection on Sunday. So I guess as we talk about Lent this week, and even a little bit about fasting, part of the ashes is the humility that I need to give something up for Lent. And it's not a bad idea, but the idea always in fasting and giving something up is, and go read Isaiah 58 if you like, is always to give something up so that I'm demonstrating my dependence on God, but also Isaiah 58, so that I can give something of worth to somebody else. And so if you are giving something up, Starbucks, sweets, eating out, whatever, ordering from Amazon, boy, you'd get rich, stop doing that. The idea would be take what you are giving up, let it accumulate, even financially, all your Starbucks money, all your Amazon Prime money, and give it away. Give it to the Dignity Freedom Network. Give it to Hannah's home here in Mentor, if you live in Mentor. But give it away to those that need it. So fasting is not just for me. it is for others as well. Okay, I've rambled for this entire time. We've begun Lent. This is Ash Wednesday here at Trinity. We're doing a service tonight at 6:30. We've begun Lent, and we're going to start talking about fasting tomorrow on Thursday, and then on Friday we're going to look at Galatians 2:20, which in some ways is a great description of the Christian life in light of Christ's sacrifice coming in 40 days. That's it. I'm done. See you tomorrow. Glad we're back on the air. Ciao.